Some days your mind doesn't feel like your own. It's like waking up into a storm, thoughts swirling before your eyes are even open, worries about the future, regrets from the past, 100 silent voices in your head, all pulling you in different directions. And even though no one else can hear them, you carry the weight of their noise all day long. Have you ever wondered, why do your own thoughts exhaust you more than the world outside? That quiet war in your head, the one between who you are and what you think, can leave you drained. You try to push the thoughts away. You try to control them, but the more you resist, the louder they seem to get, like chasing shadows in the dark. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to believe that your mind is the enemy. But here's a truth you may have forgotten. Your thoughts are not you. They are visitors. Passing clouds in the sky of your mind. Some stay longer than they should. Some demand your attention like uninvited guests. But none of them define you unless you let them. This video is not about shutting your mind off. It's about learning how to listen to it without being led by it. It's about discovering a kind of inner calm you may have never been taught to find. A calm that the ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius Epictetus, believed wasn't reserved for monks or sages, but for anyone brave enough to look inward. So, if you've been feeling trapped in your thoughts lately, or if you've ever wished for just one moment of peace in the middle of your day, this is for you. This is the start of reclaiming your inner world, not by force, but by understanding. Not by escape, but by mastery. You're not here to silence your thoughts. You're here to rise above them. Let's begin. Part 1. Reclaiming control over your mind. You're not powerless. Even if it feels like your thoughts have taken the wheel and you're just along for the ride, there's still a deeper part of you that's watching. That part of you that pauses, notices, and wonders, why am I thinking this? That quiet awareness is your strength. It's the part the Stoics called the ruling faculty, your ability to step back and choose. This isn't about controlling every thought. It's about no longer being controlled by them. Your mind is not your enemy. It's your terrain. And like any terrain, it can be rough or calm, tangled or clear. But it's yours to understand, not to fear. What you think is not what you are. The anxious thoughts, the harsh inner critic, the looping worries, they're passing through, like clouds across a vast sky. And you are the sky. When you begin to see your mind in this way, everything changes. The first shift is awareness. Awareness isn't just noticing your thoughts. It's recognizing that you are the one noticing. That tiny space between thought and reaction is where your power lives. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Your thought is not the event, it's your story about the event. And that story can change. So pause, breathe. When a thought arises, don't chase it, don't run from it either, just notice. As if you were observing a leaf drifting down a stream. That space of noticing, that's where freedom begins. Letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. There is a quiet strength in not engaging with every thought that knocks at your door. You don't have to believe every fear. You don't have to answer every doubt. Just because a thought feels urgent doesn't mean it's true. The Stoics taught that detachment is not indifference, it's clarity. When you can watch your thoughts without grabbing onto them, you begin to reclaim your mind from chaos. Practice gives you back your balance. Think of your mind like a muscle. It's been shaped by years of patterns, repeating worries, constant judgment, fear of what might go wrong. But just like your body, your mind can be trained slowly, gently, deliberately. Begin with the breath, not because it's magical, but because it's always there. Each time you feel overwhelmed, return to it. Let it anchor you. Let it remind you that in this moment, you're safe. And in this moment, you are enough. Your power lies in your response. You can't always stop the thought from arriving. But you can choose not to invite it to stay. You can say, "Not now." You can smile at the chaos and walk past it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's not just a quote, it's a way of living. And maybe that's why you're here. Because some part of you is ready. Ready to stop letting thoughts dictate your worth. Ready to return to your own center. Ready to live with intention instead of reaction. You don't have to fix every thought. You just have to stop letting them rule you. Imagine a life where your thoughts no longer shout over your peace. Where you can hear the voice of your own wisdom, even when the world is loud. That life doesn't belong to someone else. It's yours. And it starts not with a fight, but with a soft return to awareness, to breath, to yourself. You are not broken. You are not lost in your mind. You are simply remembering how to come home to it. One breath. One moment, one choice at a time. Part 2. The power of detachment. Thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. That may sound simple. But when you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or lost in a storm of inner noise, it can feel like your thoughts are you. Like they define you. Like they have the final word on who you are and how your life will unfold. But they don't. They never have. There's a space within you that exists before any thought. A quiet, steady place that doesn't change no matter what passes through your mind. That is who you are. Not the fear, not the doubt, not the regret or the worry. Your thoughts are visitors. Some are loud, some are persistent. Some feel so familiar they seem like truth. But they're not you. They're just thoughts, passing events of the mind. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that learning to detach from your thoughts is the first step to real peace. When you begin to see a thought as something separate from your identity, something you can observe instead of absorb, you reclaim your power. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You stop letting your happiness rise and fall with the chaos in your head. You begin to build a quiet strength, the kind that stays steady when your mind tries to drag you into the past or scare you about the future. Think of it this way. If your thoughts were written down on a page, would you believe every word? Or would you start to see which lines are just fear speaking? Which ones are just old patterns replaying? Not every thought deserves your belief. You've been conditioned to react, to judge, to worry, to replay moments that hurt. But now you have a choice. You can pause. You can say, "That's just a thought. It doesn't get to define me." You don't need to fight your thoughts. Fighting just feeds them. Instead, notice them with compassion. Acknowledge them, then let them pass. Like watching clouds drift across the sky. Your mind may speak, but your soul gets to choose. You are the stillness underneath the noise, the presence behind the thoughts. And when you remember that, you stop being at the mercy of what your mind says. You become the calm in the storm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But here's the truth. You choose which thoughts to let stain your spirit. You choose which ones to let go. Letting go is a form of love. When you let go of harmful thoughts, you're not running away. You're choosing not to carry what was never yours. You're choosing to care for your peace. Imagine what your life could feel like if you no longer took every thought personally. If you could witness your inner dialogue without being swept away by it. That kind of detachment doesn't disconnect you from life, it brings you closer to it. More present. More free. Your worth was never up for debate. Not by your thoughts. Not by your past. You don't need to prove anything to earn your own presence. You just need to return to it. So the next time a thought tells you you're not enough, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, it's just a thought. It's not the truth. It's not you. You are not your fear. You are not your story. You are the space where healing begins, the space where peace becomes possible. This is the gift of detachment, not escape, but deep understanding. And from that understanding, real change begins. Quietly. One breath, one letting go, one gentle return to who you've always been. Part 3. Silence and Stillness. The Path to Inner Peace. There is a place within you that is untouched by noise. In a world that constantly demands your attention, silence may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. But deep down, you long for it. Not just quiet on the outside, but stillness inside. A moment when your mind softens and your heart speaks clearly. Stillness isn't just the absence of sound, it's a return, a gentle coming home to yourself. In that stillness, you remember what matters. You remember who you are beneath all the rushing and reaching. Peace does not arrive through effort. It arrives through presence. You've been taught that you need to do more, push harder, chase faster. But the deepest healing comes when you pause, when you allow yourself to simply be. No need to perform, no need to prove, just breathing, feeling, existing. And in that space, peace can finally find you. Silence is not emptiness. It's fullness without noise. When you sit in silence, you might notice discomfort at first. Your mind may wander. Old thoughts might rise, but that's okay. Stillness isn't about stopping your mind. It's about stepping back from it, watching without judgment, listening without needing to fix. Think of a lake. When the water is stirred, you can't see the bottom. But when it's still, the truth reveals itself. Your soul is like that. When your mind calms, clarity emerges, not from effort, but from surrender. The Stoics valued stillness as strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about retreating into oneself, not as escape, but as renewal. As a way to return to life clearer, stronger, more grounded. You don't need to run away to find this stillness. It's already within you. Always has been. In a single breath, you can find your way back to the part of you that doesn't panic, that doesn't chase, that simply knows. In stillness, your true self speaks softly. not in loud declarations, but in quiet truths. You might hear a whisper reminding you that you are enough, that you don't need to control everything. That peace is not in the next achievement, but in this moment, this one breath fully felt. You don't need to earn your peace. You just need to allow it. Let go of the idea that peace comes after everything is fixed. The truth is, peace begins when you stop resisting what is, when you soften into now, even with your doubts, even with the noise around you. You can choose to listen beneath it all. Silence is your sanctuary, not because the world changes, but because you do. When you make space for stillness, you stop reacting. You start responding. You begin to live from a place of quiet strength. It's in those moments, early in the morning, late at night, or even in the middle of your busy day, when you pause, breathe, and listen inward, that you touch something eternal. Stillness is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the place where your thoughts settle and your soul steadies. It's where you see clearly what matters and what doesn't. It's where you realize you don't need to chase peace, because peace has been waiting for you all along, right here, right now, within you. So let yourself rest. Let yourself breathe. Let the silence hold you. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're simply being invited to return to yourself, to that quiet space where peace begins. And from that space, everything changes, gently, naturally, from the inside out. Part 4, Mindfulness. The present moment is your power. Right now is all you ever truly have. You may carry regrets from the past, or worries about what's next. But if you pause just for a moment and take a slow, conscious breath, you'll notice something. You're here. You're alive. And this moment, as simple as it may seem, holds more power than anything your mind is chasing. The present moment is not just a gap between yesterday and tomorrow. It's where your life is actually happening. And when you learn to live in it fully, something shifts. You stop surviving and begin truly living. Your peace lives in presence. When you're mindful, you're not lost in stories. You're not trying to rewrite the past or control the future. You're simply here, with your breath, your heartbeat, the sensations in your body. And in that presence, you reconnect with something real, something steady. It doesn't matter how fast the world moves. You can always slow down internally. Even when life feels chaotic, you can choose to bring your attention back to this breath. This step, this moment, that's how you stay grounded when everything else is spinning. Mindfulness is not a technique. It's a way of being. It's not something you achieve. It's something you return to, again and again. Gently. Without force, you'll get distracted. That's okay. What matters is your return. Each time you come back to now, you build a new habit, a new strength. You begin to notice small things. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the weight of your feet on the ground, the way your chest rises and falls as you breathe. These details may seem ordinary, but they are sacred. They remind you, you are alive. You are enough. When you're present, your mind loses its grip. Anxieties lose their urgency. Stories lose their sharpness, because you're no longer feeding them. You're observing, not identifying. And from that awareness, you make better choices. You become less reactive, more centered. It's not that problems disappear. It's that you stop adding weight to them with constant thinking. You deal with what's real, not what's imagined. That's the gift of mindfulness. It clears the fog. The Stoics practiced this deeply. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often to return to what was in front of him. He wrote, "Concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." He understood that peace isn't found by escaping the moment. It's found by entering it more fully. So when your mind wanders, as it will, ask yourself gently, what's actually happening right now? What do I see? What do I feel? What is true in this moment? Not in my fears, but in my experience. You have more control than you think. Not over what happens, but over how you meet it. Mindfulness gives you that space, the space to respond instead of react, the space to choose calm instead of chaos. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You begin to live more slowly, more fully. You stop rushing through life and start noticing its beauty, even in the quiet, even in the mundane. This moment is your anchor. Whenever you feel lost, overwhelmed, or unsure, come back to now. Place a hand on your chest. Feel your breath. Look at something real in front of you. Remind yourself, this is where your power is. Not in the next thought, not in the next task, but here. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to be here. One breath at a time, one step at a time. That's how real change begins, not with grand gestures, but with a quiet decision to be present, to show up fully, to live awake. And when you do, life stops rushing past you. It begins to open, and you begin to feel free. Part 5. The Stoic Practice of Journaling. A reflection of your mind. Some of the most powerful conversations you'll ever have are the ones you have with yourself. Not out loud, not to be heard, but in the quiet space of a journal, where thoughts, emotions, fears, and questions are no longer hidden. They are seen, felt, and understood. Journaling for the Stoics was not just a habit, it was a discipline, a mirror, a nightly ritual that brought clarity, calm, and deeper understanding. And for you, it can become something sacred, a way to step back from the noise and truly see who you are, where you're headed, and what matters most. When you write, you meet yourself. No filters, no distractions. Just the truth on the page. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be clear. The act itself, the honesty of it, is what transforms you. You begin to witness your own patterns, the stories you tell yourself, the fears that hold you, the hopes you carry quietly. And slowly, you learn to separate what's real from what's imagined, what's within your control from what's not, what serves you, and what no longer does. Journaling gives shape to your inner world. Most people walk through life reacting, carrying invisible weight. But when you write, you pause. You observe. You give your inner world the attention it deserves. It's a form of mental hygiene, a cleansing of emotional clutter. Some days, your writing might be clear and focused. Other days, messy and raw. That's okay, both are valuable, because both are real. Marcus Aurelius journaled every day. His words written in solitude were never meant to be published. They were letters to himself, notes to stay awake, to remain grounded, to remind himself of what he believed when life made it easy to forget. You can do the same. Each night, even just a few lines. What did you face today? What did you learn? Where did you act from wisdom, and where did you fall short? What are you still holding that you need to release? There is strength in facing yourself, not to judge, not to criticize, but to understand, to see yourself clearly, without denial or distortion. That kind of honesty builds inner power, quiet confidence. And from that space, you can move through life with more intention, more alignment. Over time, your journal becomes a map, a record of your growth. You begin to notice how your thoughts change, how you respond to challenges differently. You see the progress that often goes unnoticed in daily life. Your journal does not lie to you. It shows you where you are, not where you pretend to be. And that kind of truth, it sets you free. Free from illusion. Free from false expectations. Free from carrying things that were never yours to hold. And the beautiful part is, no one has to see it but you. This is your space, your voice, your reflection. You don't need permission to begin, just a page, a pen, and the willingness to look within. Journaling is not about recording events, it's about refining perception. Each entry is an invitation to see deeper, to respond wiser, to live with more clarity and less noise. The Stoics knew this. And so can you. So tonight, when the world grows quiet, open that notebook. Sit with yourself. No agenda, no pressure, just the desire to see, to understand, and maybe to forgive. This practice is where self-respect begins. When you meet yourself with honesty, day after day, you begin to walk through life differently, not looking for approval, not chasing validation, but rooted, calm, clear, because you've built something steady inside of you, and no one can take that away. It all begins with a simple act. You, a quiet room, and a pen that tells the truth. Part 6. Deep breathing and relaxation, calming the inner storm. Sometimes what you need is not to think more, but to breathe deeper. You carry so much inside, worries, questions, tension that no one else can see. And when life moves fast, when the pressure builds, when your mind won't stop racing, your breath is still there. Quiet, waiting, ready to guide you home. The way you breathe tells the truth about how you're living. Shallow, rushed, tight. That's how you breathe when you're overwhelmed. And maybe that's how you've been living too. Always bracing for something. Always trying to hold it all together. But the moment you pause and take one deep breath, fully, slowly, intentionally, you send your body a different message. That you're safe now, that you're here now, that you don't need to carry it all at once. Deep breathing is not weakness, it's self-mastery. It takes strength to stop, to resist the urge to react, to soften your jaw, lower your shoulders, and inhale like your peace depends on it. Because it does. Breathing deeply is how you remind your nervous system that you're in control. Not your anxiety, not your fear, not the chaos around you. This is not just a technique, it's a practice. A Stoic one. A conscious return to the present moment. And every time you do it, you reclaim a part of yourself. Your breath anchors you. It's always there, unnoticed, yet essential. And in moments when your emotions feel too heavy, your thoughts too loud, your breath is a doorway to stillness. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You just need to breathe through it. One inhale, one exhale, one moment of peace that belongs entirely to you. Relaxation is not about escape. It's about renewal. You don't need to run from your life. You just need space within it. Space to feel without collapsing. Space to let go without guilt. When you intentionally relax, when you give your body and your mind permission to soften, you create a sanctuary inside yourself. One no one else can touch. Your body stores every storm you've weathered. The tension in your chest, the tightness in your neck, the heaviness in your back. They're not random. They're messages, signs that you've been holding on for too long, and deep breathing is how you begin to let go. Gently, gradually, with compassion. Breathe into the places that hurt, the places that feel abandoned, the parts of you that are always in fight or flight mode. Let them know it's okay now. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to prove anything right now. You can just be. Stillness is not the absence of life. It's where life begins to feel meaningful again. You've spent so much time pushing, chasing, fixing. But in the quiet space of a relaxed body and a steady breath, something else rises. Clarity, strength, a deeper sense of presence. You start to hear the part of you that isn't afraid, that knows who you are, that trusts the path, even when you can't see it. You have this power, always. No matter where you are, no matter how much is swirling around you, your breath is your refuge. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't depend on the world calming down. It just needs you to return to it. So right now, close your eyes if you can. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, again and again. Let your breath be a reminder. You are here, you are alive, and you are allowed to feel peace, right here, in this very breath. This is where your strength lives, not in how much you carry, but in how well you care for the parts of you that are tired, tender, human. When you breathe deeply, you don't just calm your body, you reclaim your spirit. And sometimes, that one small act changes everything. Part 7. The Stoic Focus, Mastering Attention. Your attention is your most sacred power. Not your time, not your energy. It's where your mind goes, what you choose to see, what you choose to dwell on, that shapes how you feel, how you live, who you become. And in a world that pulls you in every direction, learning to master your attention is not just a choice. It's a form of inner freedom. You've already seen what happens when your focus is scattered. You feel anxious, unsettled, like you're always behind, always reacting. The world becomes noise and your thoughts become fog. But that fog is not your natural state. You are not made to live in distraction. You were made for depth, clarity, stillness. And you can return to that place anytime you decide to reclaim your focus. Where your attention goes, your life follows. This is the core of the Stoic way. You don't control everything that happens, but you do control how you respond. And that begins with what you choose to give your attention to. Are you feeding your fears or your strength? Are you obsessing over what's missing or honoring what you already have? Every moment is a choice. And those choices shape your inner world. Focus is not about doing more, it's about seeing more clearly. It's easy to chase 100 things. Easy to jump from one thought to the next, hoping that something out there will finally quiet the storm inside. But deep down, you know, peace doesn't come from more noise. It comes from less. From pausing long enough to notice what truly matters. From choosing what to hold and what to release. You are not meant to consume everything. Your mind is not a dumping ground for the endless opinions, images, and urgencies of others. You get to decide what enters your space. You get to choose what is worthy of your gaze, what is worthy of your mind, what is worthy of your life. That is your right. That is your power. Attention is love. And what you give your attention to, you give your life to. So, ask yourself, where is your love going? To old wounds? To comparisons that drain you? To distractions that numb you? Or is it going to your growth, your peace, your purpose? The Stoics knew. Focus is not about control, it's about devotion. Devoting yourself to what is within your reach, what is worthy of your time, your spirit, your soul. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to be fully here. The task in front of you, the breath you are taking, the thought you're choosing to believe. This moment is the only one that's real. And when you give it your full attention, something quiet opens up inside you. A calm, a knowing, a strength that doesn't shout but stays. Distraction is the thief of peace, and peace is found not by running away from the noise, but by choosing to return again and again to what matters. Your focus is not something you find, it's something you build, with intention, with care, with patience. You already have the ability to direct your attention. It's not something outside of you. It's already here, like a light waiting to be turned. And when you shine that light inward, when you choose presence over panic, clarity over chaos, depth over drama, you remember what it feels like to be home inside yourself. So begin again. Gently, boldly. Let the next breath bring you back. Let the next small act be one of presence. Because you don't have to change your whole life today. You just have to notice where your attention is and guide it back to where your soul feels steady. This is how you live like a Stoic. Not by forcing, but by focusing. Not by controlling the world, but by mastering the only thing that's truly yours, your mind. And when your attention becomes your ally, so does your life. Conclusion. Come home to yourself. You've walked through the noise, the storm, the scattered moments, and still, you're here. Still searching for something deeper. Still feeling that quiet pull within you. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. It means a part of you is already waking up. You are not just surviving. You are beginning to live with intention. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you've always been, beneath the rush, beneath the fear, beneath all the stories the world tried to write for you. There is strength inside you that hasn't been broken. There is peace inside you that's been patiently waiting. And there is a path forward, simple, steady, real. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step with clarity, to breathe a little slower, to pay attention a little deeper, to write what you feel, to let go of what you can't control, and to come back again and again to this present moment where your power lives. If this message reached you today, it's because you were ready to hear it, not by chance, but because a part of your soul is asking for more. More stillness, more truth, more of you. So here's my gentle invitation to you. If this spoke to your heart, let it stay with you. Don't rush to the next video, the next distraction. Sit with what you felt. Journal about it tonight. Reflect on it tomorrow. Let it shape the way you walk through your day. And if you want more like this, more truth, more depth, more of what helps you come home to yourself, subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who might be silently needing it too. Your growth may become someone else's turning point. But above all, remember this: you are not behind. You are not broken. You are in the middle of becoming. And that is a sacred place to be. Let this be the moment you choose stillness. Let this be the breath that brings you back. And let this be the day you finally return to you.